Honestly, it's the only thing that brings me any hope because I don't think we're getting out of it.
No, of course not. But right, but that shouldn't be surprising either. I mean, again, I just can't believe that in the end, when it really gets intense, as it is now, that it's Christians, it's people who actually believe the Bible, are the only ones with wisdom who understand what's really going on. They're not shocked at all. And they're not panicked either. They get it. It's so interesting. That itself is a biblical principle. The last shall be first. The most, the humble among you will be exalted. It's like, everything's the opposite of what you thought it was. Victory is defeat. Christianity is defeat. Being tortured to death is actually victory. It's like, it's just, but once you start, even if you're not a Christian, which I think you should be because it's true, but even if you're not, you can acknowledge, just having lived here for a while, that is absolutely the way things work.
To live is Christ, to die is gain. He said Christians will be the only one with wisdom in the last days. Let me put that in better context for you guys. What Tucker Carlson is actually saying is, it will be Christians who understand the true fight we are actually in. Because believe it or not, there are many people who realize this world is a matrix. They realize the government, the higher elites, it's all a matrix. But they believe it's all a pyramid situation that's leading up to higher human elites. While Christians, on the other hand, understand that it's actually a spiritual battle. And us as human beings, us as souls, us as spirits, are really in a space where we are held captive and in bondage. And there is only one place to get the key to be freed, and that is Christ. That's better context for you guys. God bless. Shalom.
Oh, no, there's the audacity of these motherfuckers. Steve Harvey, L. Hughley, Ricky Smile, Olin Martin, motherfucking list goes on. Talking about some y'all need to vote for Kamala. Vote for Kamala. Do your research. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all embarrassing us. Motherfuckers, you all are embarrassing us. How dare you all? You all are entitled to vote for whoever the fuck you think in your bright heads is the best choice. You are not entitled to belittle, punish, and make fun of black men and think the complete opposite. We are not voting for no fucking Kamala. Leave us alone. Just because y'all got fucking paid to advertise good talk from that goddamn administration don't mean all of us have to sell our soul. We picking up books, we reading, we research. What we not about to do is be bamboozled by motherfucking Steve. Are you shitting me? Boy, you can't even fulfill your goddamn marriages. Stealing people's jokes. Why the fuck would we take your word for anything? Kings of comedy. D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey? Oh, no, there's only one king of comedy on that fucking tape, and it's Bernie. And everybody knows it. You motherfuckers was the backup dancers. Why the fuck would we listen to a man that dresses up constantly as a fucking old woman? I can't even look at you in your eye and take you serious. If you ask him a simple ass question, all he did was belittle black men. Y'all need to go on with that. Keep that same energy. Keep that. What? Oh, that fucking Roland Martin. Ooh, that Roland Martin. Real quick, Roland, how much gum is under the table? Snow White from the fucking Seventh Dwarf? Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, Oompa fucking Loompa? We definitely ain't taking your ass serious. They want us to believe that these type of black men are fucking leaders. Because y'all got successful out of luck, you all are supposed to be our leaders and collect checks and backstab us. You're damn right I'm yelling. You want to know why? All the successful brothers, we can't even take them serious. Don't sit here and try to manipulate us. Real sad that the world, the country is in fucking turmoil as we speak the last 4 years. And you are going to get on fucking television and interviews and sit here and try to convince us that we need to stick with the fucking candidate that's in office now that's creating the fucking turmoil? Are you all like y'all rabbit ass, Looney Tune ass mom? Or not gonna manipulate none of us strong black men into believing the shit that y'all don't even actually believe. I kid you not, none of these motherfuckers will vote. I bet you they won't vote, but I bet you they cash that motherfucking check.
Vladimir Putin has just signed a decree allowing people from other countries that are not satisfied with the way their countries are handling their policies to move to Russia and forego all the legal loops that were necessary before and allow them to become Russian residents or citizens. The document states that Moscow will provide assistance to any foreigners who want to escape the neoliberal ideals being put forward in their countries and move to Russia, where traditional values reign supreme according to a decree signed by President Vladimir Putin. Russia is essentially saying to the world, that many countries are not upholding the basic rights of their people and their people's interests, and that the traditional Russian spiritual and moral values can be something that others might aspire to. And if you would like to be part of that, it is possible, of course on a person-by-person basis, for you to move to Russia, get a 3-month visa, and apply for residency without having to know the language and the laws as it was done before. This is very, very interesting. I will keep you updated on this situation. Like and follow for more.
Kind of makes you wonder, why is Vladimir doing that? Does he know something that we don't know? I mean, does he, and I know that him and Trump are good friends, right? So does he think that Trump is not going to win the election? Like, I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
How hard it is to be around stupid people, to hear the conversation and dialogue of stupid people, how they rationalize information in the dumbest way, how they draw conclusions and then go find other dumb people to agree with them. You can't tell me that that don't piss you off. My therapist, Erica Little, she's in Fort Worth, Texas, if you want to look her up, told me that highly intelligent people suffer from a mild form of depression because they daily have to quantify the stupidity of others. This woman of God don't even know how heavy that statement was. Do you know how mentally exhausting it is to be around stupid people? And then you got to interact with them at work. I would love for you to give your testimony about how you had to deal with a dumb individual.
That's why I exclude myself from a lot of things, because it's definitely mentally draining when you're dealing with imbeciles. And I hate calling people out their name, but I mean, if the shoe fit.
Powell, let's hear more of this. This is on CNN. I love this.
A white honky from Norway can come here, but a black dude from Haiti can't. What does that tell you in an America that in one generation called you a nigger? What does that tell you, Don? I can tell you that what that tells a honky like me. We're no different than we were a generation ago, and we're learning the same lessons that we learned when we called the Chinese man a slant eye, when we called a man from Guatemala a spick and a wetback, and we called a black man a nigger.
Drop one of clues bombs for my Haitian master. All right? Where them dolls at? Now, kiss my black ass, all right? Haitians coming to this country every day, B. Get you some soup, jumu, some ginger tea, you'll be all right. You tough, right? That's the side you want to be on, because when a Haitian goes, that's it. I don't know what you just said, but I just know when a Haitian goes, finish for that. Please can suck my big black Zozo, okay? All right? Whoa. To the Make American.
I think Charlamagne just like to hear himself talk, because that made no sense whatsoever.
So Kamala Harris was on the BET Awards. She happened to FaceTime Taraji P. Henson. This is how they keep black people on that Democratic plantation, okay? I don't know how I'm going to vote, but I want you to hear, okay? And I want you to listen to how they talking to each other. This is how they think they need to speak to the black community, using words like pushing P, using words like get your plate brothers and plate sisters and all that. They not like us. This how they need to reach the black people. This how they pander, right? This shit ain't genuine. Listen to this shit, y'all.
But these extremists, as they say, they not like us. They not. There's a full-on attack on our fundamental freedoms. The freedom to vote. Yep. The freedom to love who you love. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom for a woman to make decisions about her own body, not having her government tell her what to do. They out here trying to take away Pride, Plan B, and Planned Parenthood, but protecting pistols. If you ask me, they pushing the wrong P's. They want to turn back the clock on our hard-fought progress. Now I know why the cage bird sings. Well, what can we do? We will do what we have always done, fight for our freedoms. But here's the thing, we cannot fight alone. We need to get our families, our friends, co-workers, cousins, play cousins, aunties, and uncles, get all of them to register to vote. I'm texting everybody I know right now to go to.
Now these motherfuckers show up every 4 years trying to tell us why we need to vote for them and why it's not okay to vote for the other side, because it's in our best interest, right? But you only show up every 4 motherfucking years to do so. While you guys are running your term, or while you guys are in office, it's crickets. But right around election time, you hear that you get this slew of shit, and it's like, Y'all, this shit crazy.
It's almost a guarantee win, homie. An assassination attempt. Nigga, he raised up and raised his fist in there like he a bad homie. Kim Jong and Donald Trump study people like him. I do too. Kim Jong used propaganda, my nigga, to make it look like he's a god. This was propaganda being used. This is propaganda to make and he raised the fist up.
Who wins this election?
China,
Not who you're. I know you're not voting, but if you had to predict who the winner will be, who's gonna win?
China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. That's who win this election.
Explain
China,
that.
Russia, North Korean, and Iran. That's who win this election.
Explain what you mean by that.
The American people don't win, no matter who win. If Kamala win, do you know how the world gonna treat us? Because most Muslim countries won't even talk to her. They won't address her as a leader. If Trump win, we don't win. Nobody wins this election, buddy. This is the start of America's fall. This is when Babylon began to fall. We're watching it. Our president told us that he was confident enough to be president, that he's okay, only for him to back out and give us Kamala, somebody we didn't pick. She was given to us. So we don't win, homie.
That's crazy because in the last video before that, Charleston White had a Trump hat on. So I don't really know what to believe. That's my guy. I mess with Charleston White. A lot of times he be on point, but I don't know about this time. I don't know. Instead of blaming white supremacy, blame all the black women with positions of power that never did anything for us. And you know what's crazy about that? And this ain't just me talking about black women. I'm talking about women in general, even white women that have positions of power. When you operate off emotion, that is a whole nother ball game when you're dealing with positions of power. And a lot of women do. Like that Fannie lady that prosecuted Trump and Young Thug, the way that she prosecutes, it's strictly highly emotional. She's always angry. She talks angry. She speaks with such conviction. And it's crazy to me that this country has gotten to this point where they allow this. Because, I mean, yeah, you have women's rights. I respect it. I respect it wholeheartedly. But when you get in the positions of power, that's where it becomes scary. And women don't believe it, but if this was a country ran by women and women only, oh, we would be up shit's creek without a paddle.
First of all, who in the fuck is we? And second of all, is y'all not sick of this by now? Y'all ain't sick of them playing in our faces by now? Do you not realize that every time they want the black vote, they get a black entertainer to fuck with us? This is how little respect they have for us as black people. Oh shit, they got Lil Jon out here. Not only are they showing how much they don't respect black people, they're showing the average American how much they disrespect them. White folks love Lil Jon, so we get all the undecided voters to remember Lil Jon was at the concert. I might fuck around and vote for this bitch. You didn't have Megan Thee Stallion and Lil Jon at your concert. My bad, at your presidential rally. I thought it was a concert. Every election, they pump millions of dollars into swaying undecided voters. Do you know an undecided voter has to be the dumbest person on the planet? Think about it. You don't know who you're gonna vote for, which means you're not deciding based on policies or anything that's important. You're undecided because you gotta figure out who you like the best. So they spend millions of dollars every year to convince millions of undecided voters who to vote for. Think about how dumb you have to be to vote for a government official based on personality and a concert. That's how stupid American society is, that they do this to sway millions of people who will not make a responsible decision. They're gonna make a decision based on whose fucking concert they like.
Yeah, and that's crazy. A lot of people like, well, you know, Trump rallies are boring, but Kamala's, whatever, Kamala, whatever her name is, her rallies are lit, because you know we live in an era where it's lit. It's all about being lit, right? And they know that, and they playing on these young folks' emotions, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. This is what we up against, guys. And this is for Republicans and Democrats who are voting on the Trump side and the independents like myself. This is what we are up against. They are taking their campaign money and putting it in places that don't matter. And people may be falling for it.
Looking for me to say, oh, hip-hop in 50 years has made sure that black people now are respected, and no, that's never gonna happen.
What has it done for the people?
It gave you listen to hip-hop music and you were inspired at some point, no?
Nigga, I'm leaving.
We're moving, we're literally, we're moving goalposts.
It ain't done shit in 50 years for the community.
It
made individuals rich, and that's it.
It then gave jobs to. It then gave jobs
to. Gave a couple jobs. The drug dealer giving out a couple jobs too.
But the drug dealer is. The drug dealer is essential to the black community in the ghetto. You can't tell me that somebody grew up in the hood.
Hip-hop ain't done shit concretely beneficial to the black community. You gave me fashion. The first thing out of your mouth was fashion.
I gave you fashion, and you started yelling over me.
What else?
But then also, then there's technological advancement. Podcasting, for example. Look at all the black people that now have access to jobs and ways to make money due to that. We're still talking about rap. We're still talking about cinema. We're still talking about these camera operators, these new people coming up with new.
Let me make it real concrete for you.
I just made it concrete.
No, it wasn't. That was all bullshit.
No,
give me a relevant institution that hip hop built in any community, anywhere in America in 50 fucking years.
I just told you.
No, you didn't.
I just told you concrete people that would not have access.
I didn't say individuals. I said an institution.
I said people.
Where's the bank of hip hop for the black community?
The definition of the word people means not an individual. So I'm telling you, people that are now of 50 years ago would not have had access to work.
You're dealing in individualism. I asked you, what did they do for the community? You can't give me nothing because they ain't done shit
people
for
from the community can now work in a music industry that there was never going to be a space for them.
What the fuck? That's individualism. That ain't helping us. That's bullshit.
No.
Bull fucking shit.
No.
It's not helping us.
No. What's happening is virtual signaling. That's
bullshit.
What's happening. Virtual signaling
ain't
happening.
Done shit. A few people could get jobs. Everybody can say that shit. Elon Musk got a couple black people on the payroll. That don't mean shit.
Elon Musk didn't come from black. He's not a black person.
My point is, you can get a job from anywhere, whether they black or not.
But now
That's
you're
not
getting a job.
Benefit.
Now black
but
people.
But you're still talking about individualism, bro. A few people. You've been around for 50 years. The most popular music genre in the world. Billions and billions of dollars. And all you can tell me about is a few people can get jobs? That's bullshit when you look at the cost that the black community has had to pay for hip-hop. A whole generation, 2-3 generations of black kids growing up thinking the best thing you can do is be a damn gangster.
Nah, I gotta side with Umar on this one. Hip hop has generally not done anything for the black community. And what he's saying is like, has any rappers came back and built any community centers, built any low income homes or low income apartments, building the economy for their own community, and no rapper has done that.
Every fucking race in fucking America has oppressed us. Black people also wear a uniform and get on a plane and come to our countries and kill us.
Boo-hoo, cry me a river. I don't really feel any empathy towards you at all because you guys enslaved how many people? The Gulf countries abolished slavery in 1962. Afro-Palestinians, where did they come from? Do you think they just fell out of the sky? The vast majority were descendants of slaves. The Ottomans enslaved thousands of people from Africa and from Europe. And many of these people who owned the slaves and who were participating in the slave trade were Arabs. Let's not act like the Middle East is perfect without the West either. The Coptic Christians who are oppressed in Egypt and who have been oppressed for hundreds and hundreds of years. The Yazidis who got genocided by ISIS. The Assyrians and Chaldeans who had to flee to America to escape oppression inside of the Middle East. The most racist place on earth isn't Europe, it's not America, it's not East Asia, it's not Africa. It's the Middle East. They shoot immigrants at the border in Saudi Arabia. The entire Gulf system is based on Ethiopians who are basically slaves. The vast majority of Arabs who actually live in Arab countries do not like black people. They have a longer history of oppression of black people than Europeans do. So it's even more deeply ingrained inside of their mentality. In fact, the word Abid is synonymous with black people. And yeah, the Europeans definitely hurt black people. I'm not going to deny that. But you guys enslaved black people for longer. In fact, you guys even oppressed Europeans. I don't even think you have a right to moral virtue signal Europeans because you guys enslaved them for thousands of years. I know you guys think history started in 1990 or 1948, but it didn't. It started a lot earlier than that.
Did you see the thing where Trump came out and said that he was going to stop taxes for tips?
Yeah. It's called no tax on tips. No tax on. That was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and then she came out and said she's going to do it.
On tips for service and hospitality workers.
And everybody cheered. It was her idea. But here's the problem. In 2022, she was one of the deciding votes to go after people that were not reporting their tips.
Was that on the Inflation Reduction Act or the Green New Deal? I think it was one of the same. Right. She was the tiebreaker.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to tax the business instead, which in turn taxes the workers.
Yeah. Well. The Kamala phenomenon, the cacklementum, it's all over. It's over. Now, I think that the betting markets are about as reliable as polling data. They are at best directional. Okay. The betting markets, the RCP average of polls, all of this stuff they're meant to be viewed as content. They're meant to be viewed as, conversational pieces. They don't mean diddly squat. All right. When Trump won in 2016, Hillary Clinton was up by almost 10 points nationally in all of the aggregate polls. Okay. It doesn't matter. But what we can say is we can look at the Kamala phenomenon or the cacklementum and see what's happened, because they tried to hide this woman. They tried to hide her and hide her good, just like they did with Biden, because they didn't want the American public to realize that he was literally a head of lettuce. At one point, when the switch was made, to bring Harris in, she rocketed to as much as nearly a 10-point lead in the national betting markets. 53-45, 52-45, 50-46, just absolutely crushing, right? Well, right now, they're basically dead even. Why? Because she opened her mouth. Michael Malice, the power of propaganda. Do Americans have a favorable or unfavorable opinion of Kamala Harris? Everyone hates Kamala Harris, terrible, sub 40 ratings. And then, oh my God, she's the joy candidate.
You know what? This is going to be totally off topic, has nothing to do with that video. But you know what I find crazy is that you can literally go to Donald Trump's website and read his policies and his plans for when he gets into office. Whereas for Kamala, I think that's her, but I don't want to, say her name wrong or whatever. But for her, I go on her website and there's literally nothing but places for you to donate. Unless I didn't look at the website correctly, but she literally has nowhere on her website about her policies and her plans as president. She literally has nothing. And my issue is with that is when she's at a convention or a rally, she's speaking proudly about the things that she wants to see happen, like abortion. Let's speak on abortion real quick, right? I can't advocate for that. I don't see how a human can advocate for that. Let's get the record straight. Even in Project 2025, which Donald Trump has nothing to do with, okay? They thoroughly explain what they want to see happen to people who are getting abortions. And it's nothing bad. I read that entire page, and it was basically saying that there should be protocols and proper documentation put in place before abortions can be approved. They should do psychological and mental tests on these people before they say, okay, we will do the abortion for you. And they were saying that the states should keep track of it, because right now, they named the states in the book in 2025, Project 2025 list of demands. They put the states in there who are not keeping count of how many abortions there are daily in this country. And they said that if that's going to be a thing, we should do it a more correct way. So, but I want to say, I don't see how a person can actually support the murdering of a child who has not had a choice to say whether they want to live or not. That is evil, bro. I'm not against women having rights, the right to do what they want with their body, but because I agree with that page, and I will give you guys the page number. Hold on 1 second. Now, this passage, if y'all go read it, you can actually download the PDF for Project 2025. I'll link it in the description. But the part where it talks about the respect for life and conscience, this is where they're discussing the women's rights and, abortion and things. It starts at the bottom of page 454 and it ends at the top of page 456.
Good morning from the Crystal Coast of North Carolina. As we face a rise of anti-intellectualism and revisionist history, I feel like it's time to add to my stories some true stories from my childhood living in the South. I want you to know what you're up against, guys, when you're up against these racists. I grew up in a decent family, church going, the whole 9 yards. But when I was a child sitting around the table with my elders at my grandfather's house, it was quite frequent. There would be stories about racist acts. And the one I'm going to tell you today is the worst thing that I ever heard as a child, and what estranged me from my family from an early age because of the hideous nature of it. It's called the scalding pot. Once, when I was a child, I was arguing something with my grandfather about civil rights, and he just preempted the conversation, and he told a story that he found quite humorous. It was about his neighborhood in northern Forsyth County, North Carolina, near Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and how there was this black man who had done some malfeasance or crossed some sort of line, and all the people in that neighborhood, it was the Box Mountain neighborhood. If you know Winston-Salem, you know that. They were brought together, and there was a big old hog scalding pot. For those of you who aren't Southern, didn't grow up on a farm, a scalding pot is what you put the pork in, the pig, after it's been slaughtered, to scald off the skin and the hair off of the skin so that you can process the meat. It's a pretty grotesque thing. Well, apparently what they did was they took this living black person and they tied him up and they boiled him alive in this pot. And everyone in this little neighborhood, it was a big party. And this was in the early 70s, 1970s, when this story was told to me by my grandfather. I was under 10. His point was, I shouldn't view black people as human. So when you were fighting this new wave of fascism, this racist crap that is coming mainly from the South, but everywhere, it's in the Pacific Northwest, it's up north, it's all over, it's in Europe. Remember that who you were fighting. You were fighting people who see you as less than human. And when you do not believe someone is human, you don't have any qualms about doing things. Know your enemy. We need to get ready for the fight of humanity's life. The soul of our entire species is on the line. I challenge every white person out there who's ever heard a story like the scalding pot to share. Spread the word.
Now that's pretty grotesque. I ain't gonna lie, and I like that word she used. I've always known about it, but it hasn't been heavy in my vocabulary. Yeah, I don't think nobody getting scalded these days, but knowing that type of stuff happened back in those days, and those are stories that never made it to the news and only kept within family talks, like what she was speaking about. Imagine all of the things that happened that didn't make it to the news that had something specifically to do with racism. Just imagine. You know, there was a comment on this channel on one of the videos, and they were saying your videos are too based on race. Because I was speaking on issues, and lately I have been speaking on the issues, but I mean, the issues that persist and exist, I can't just deny. Like, it is my duty as a black man to speak on these things. I'm sorry if that makes you uncomfortable. And if that makes you uncomfortable, then you have some demons you need to deal with. Because a lot of white people know about this stuff. And a lot of white people know that they didn't have nothing to do with any of this, right? So me speaking on it, and you never heard me say, oh man, I think all white people should be this, that, and the third because of what happened to my people in the past. No, you never hear me say that. You never hear me say that. But I always bring awareness to the things that have happened to my ancestors. I always, and that's what I'm going to always do. And like I always say, that if you don't agree with that, then you just, go to another channel. I mean, it's that simple. You have some creators who do their content for the people. I, for one, am one of the creators who do it for myself because I like to do it. And if you end up liking it, then I mean, hey, that's great, man. Welcome aboard. That means you truly rock with me no matter what I talk about or what I say. So I respect that. And just going into the future, people need to know that I will speak on a lot of these issues because it is my job as a black man to do that. I mean, I have a voice. Why wouldn't I do that? This is a platform where I can make these things known and make people aware of them. Why wouldn't I do that? But I ain't gonna rant too long. But y'all make sure y'all go look at that Project 2025. You ain't got to read the entire thing. You can just go to certain sections that apply to you and that concern you.
What makes Kamala qualified to become the next president of the United States?
She's not. She didn't go through the voting process. They scared of the system, but I was all by design.
So how do you think it's even possible that she is now running for president when she wasn't even voted in to be the electoral?
Good question. Because
to be the person.
Because it's part of prophecy. If you look at like Egyptian, Kamala means lotus flower. Out of the lotus flower comes the sun god Ra. So what she's going to bring what he wanted. Back in the day, the sun god, along with Akhenaten, they were the rulers of the dynasty back in the day. They're going to bring economic doom because what you have to do, you have to destroy it before you rebuild it. They're gradually doing it now. That's why they got to have these conventions, because they need you to make a covenant with them and be in agreement with them to move forward. That's all this is. It's an exercise to participate in your own doom.
Okay.
This whole system was not built for American citizens. It was built for secret groups to run it. And they're running it. And allegedly Kamala and all them, they're part of it.
Well, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it here. What he said about her name, Kamala, it was true. It literally means lotus. You can go look this up yourself. And with that being said, I don't know how true it is. He said it's all a part of the prophecy, and it could be. But that just further proves to me why we should swing the other way. Because if it's getting that deep and her name starts to have a meaning that goes back to the ancient Egyptians, and you know about Ra and you know about Set, right? And those literally are representations of light and darkness, right? And how they fought each other And sometimes the light would win, and then sometimes the darkness would win. And right now we're in the darkness. And maybe Set is winning. I don't know how true this is or what he's saying, but I mean, I would have to do some more research on it, but I'm pretty sure that you vigilant folks out there would do enough research and find out for yourself. And remember to use DuckDuckGo, because you know they shadow ban a lot of stuff on Google. So hey, that's another story for another time. As we go into these election months, right? What we have to understand is that when I say that our vote doesn't matter on this scale as far as the president of the United States goes, I mean that they elect the president based on the popular vote and the electoral vote. So our votes really don't matter, but our votes do matter in our local elections. So if we really want a change, we have to know who our candidates are in our local elections. Hell, we have to know what branches are local for us in order to make these decisions. Then that's a whole nother heap of work that we got to do. And a lot of people don't like to do that because it's easy to just choose a president because this is the only thing you got to worry about. But then when you're dealing with the congressman, the city council, the city court clerks, and all these different things, that's a whole nother heap of work that nobody wants to do, right? But I advise you to do it whenever you get the time. It's really not hard. Once you figure it out, memorize it, and you'll know it for the rest of your days. We all have a duty to ensure that this country gets the best candidates possible. We all have a duty, man, you know. And whether you are voting for Kamala, or you vote for Trump, it don't matter. We all American people. If y'all vote her in, y'all got to make sure she does what she needs to do to make sure this country gets what it needs. And listen to her policies that she recently spoke about, right? None of that stuff is helping the people. Women's rights is not helping the people. It's just helping women. And like I said, I'm not against women's rights. But if the policy that you're putting out is not helping the people as a whole, then it's purposeless. It's purposeless. It literally holds no value. Now, I love my black women. She ain't black, though. And I love my white women. She ain't white neither. I love all women. She's Indian. She said it numerous amount of times out of her mouth. And I'm not saying that has nothing to do with her being a president. But last time I checked, and if you're not, well, she was born here in America. Because I was about to say, if you're not born here in America, you cannot become president, right? Last time I checked, you cannot run for those type of things. But if you were American born, then it's different. But I think that even your ethnic background holds you back from making sound decisions as an important leader, like important political leader. So you shouldn't be able to run for those positions because of your biased ethnic background. That you have to be biased because that's who you are, right? So if I'm Asian and I'm Asian American, but I'm really deep into my Asian roots and I become president, I'm going to do everything for my Asian people in this country to make sure we get ahead, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that we done had some American presidents in the past who have helped their people get ahead. You know, and I'm gonna have to bleep those words out, but I'm sure that those things have happened. So it's just one of them things, man. Like, you have to question and you have to really open your mind to, because everything that look good ain't good. Everything that glitters is not gold. And they right now putting glitter in your face with these conventions, you know. I'm not even sure if Trump had anybody perform at one of his yet. Not even sure. But if he did, then he's along with them too. But I don't think he did, though. I don't think he did. I could be wrong. But I just feel like that important issues should be discussed at these rallies and these conventions, and they really aren't taking advantage of the being able to talk about these things and question people. What do you think? What's your concern? I remember there was a time where people used to ask the people, what are your concerns? And people used to come with a list of things. But now it's like, no, I'm gonna make you like me and then you vote for me. It's sad out here, y'all. But look, I'm not gonna rant forever, man. But like I always say, do what you will with that information. And hey, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload. Hop in the description, follow me on all my social medias. And remember, challenge the argument and not the person.